Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Jay and today we're back in Jurassic World Evolution in Nublar Emergent Biopark. Now today we're going to be adding in our first very large habitat, which is going to feature our Torosaurus and our Edmontosaurus. Now I'll go into more detail later on, but both of these mods I believe were made by Jagged Fang Designs and you'll be able to find the links down in the description. Once again, quick disclaimer, the developers Frontier, they definitely don't officially support modding. Like I said, they do think it's cool, but they can't officially support it. And yeah, with that out of the way, let's talk about today's build. So first off, as you're going to see on screen, I'm actually putting in the aviary. You might know that big dinosaurs don't live in an aviary. This is actually for our pteranodons, which I will be adding in later on, not in this episode, because I haven't downloaded the mod for them. There is a mod that makes them a little bit more accurate by removing their teeth, and pteranodons, they did not have teeth. Their name literally means toothless wing. So yes, I'll be getting that at some point, but we're going to be working on the hill on which the aviary is placed on top of. So the aviary is placed on top of this really tall hill, and we're going to be working on the slope of that hill essentially. And we're going to be putting in a big enclosure for a very large herd of dinosaurs. We're going to have, like I said, the Torosaurus, which is big ceratopsian. One of those which is like always in contention because people don't know if it's just another type of Triceratops or whether it's its own thing. I believe right now the consensus is that it's its own species, but with taxonomy and stuff like that, there's always going to be contention, so we're just going to call it Torosaurus for now, and the model is beautiful, you'll get to see it later on as well. And the second dinosaur we're going to have is Edmontosaurus. So Edmontosaurus is one of the first dinosaurs you get in Jurassic World Evolution. It's a hadrosaur, very much kind of like the large cattle of the Cretaceous, just really common dinosaurs that you'd imagine you'd find in really big herds. And the mod I got from Jagged Fang Designs is once again a really beautiful skin, really beautiful model. The thing is, the Jurassic World Evolution base game Edmontosaurus is actually genuinely super gorgeous. It is really beautiful skin, really beautiful model, and I think it's probably one of the best in the game itself. But and it is surprisingly accurate, actually, to be honest. It is pretty good already. This model just kind of fixes a few of the proportions, things like that. Same goes for the Torosaurus. The version in-game is already pretty accurate. This mod just happens to kind of tighten up a few things, mainly in the proportions, kind of like the legs as well. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this mod makes the legs, the feet especially, a bit more accurate. So I think that's for the best. And right now you're going to see me put in the first viewing platform. There's a viewing platform that's going to be on top of the hill, and I'm going to place a viewing tower at the bottom of the hill, so you get two really clear views of this habitat because it is on a slope. And I did really have a lot of fun building this habitat because I could change the terrain here and there and make it look like a really interesting hilly terrain that these animals can just kind of graze around and explore. And it's a pretty big habitat. Later on, when we get into the live play section, I'll show you how big it actually is. It's really, really large. So they do get a lot of space to explore and kind of enjoy. Again, I'm using lots of the redwood trees, but otherwise I'm trying to keep most of the hillside quite sparse with just a few patches of water. I add a lot of rocks because I do want this to be quite a rocky hillside. I also use the rock texture to paint it in a slightly more interesting way. So I think it turns out really nice. There's a long path that leads up to the aviary along the side of the habitat, so you can kind of look in from there. But obviously I don't expect my guests to want to walk that distance, so for the most part, guests will use a monorail, which I've added in a bit later. So yeah, now let's hop into the game itself after a quick cinematic shot of the Torosaurs and the Edmontosaurus getting released, and I'll talk to you there. See you in a sec. everyone, here we are in the game itself, and if you look right ahead of you, you'll be able to see our herd of Edmontosaurus. That's my tour guide voice right there. But I'm really proud of how this particular habitat came out. It's nothing special, but I just really like how it looks with the elevation change and the two viewing platforms. So let's have a look from this viewing tower right here at the bottom. And yeah, that's a great view, I think. You can see right up the hill towards the aviary, and if you just look straight ahead, you can see our dinosaurs. They're all kind of just frolicking about, and they actually have a huge space, but they really tend to stay right down in the middle here. I believe we have 12 Torosaurus and 10 Edmontosaurus. I'm not sure if I add any more species to this habitat. I'm thinking maybe a small dinosaur like the Homalocephali, maybe, but I'm not 100% yet. But otherwise, I really like how it's turned out. Let's check out the view from up there. So if you like, of course, you can take the path from the bottom, walk all the way up here, get up here to the aviary, and of course, once we fill that up, that's going to be a great place to check out our pteranodons. And you got this viewing platform right here. And that's a pretty great view. You get to look right down the hill towards the Innovation Center, and you have our dinosaurs all chilling on the hillside. So we got our Torosaurus and our Edmontosaurus. But yeah, I think this turned out really well. I like the use of rocks because it's a really rocky habitat. Ooh, we got an Edmontosaurus coming right up to the viewing platform. So there's this one. Whoa, that is a beautiful dinosaur. They've really done so well, Jagged Fang Designs. They've done so well with their dinosaur models. They're just really beautiful, and we'll see more of their work as we go through the park because they made a lot of the mods that I'm using. But they just do really excellent work. I love the coloration of the Edmontosaurus. Let's have a look at one up close. We do have two different skins here. We have the Rainforest variant and the Null variant. Let's see which one this one is. This is the basic skin, and I think it is gorgeous. I think it reminds me a lot of a giraffe. And I think that makes sense for like a large animal like this, a large herbivore. And it's just really beautiful. It's so realistic as well. It looks like it would be a real animal. The front legs though, oh my god, they're so tiny. They look like stilts. I am pretty sure that's how the animal actually was, but I just find that so funny that they just look like they're walking on stilts. Is this the other alternate skin? The other skin isn't too different. Let's check out the Torosaurus. This is our Alpha Torosaurus, it seems. And this is the step variant, so not the null variant, and it's a beautiful, beautiful skin. I love these osteoderms at the back. I think they look really nice, and these sort of diamond markings, really gorgeous. And of course the frill with the eye spots, really beautiful. And I like that they've gone for this kind of half dome shape for the nasal horn instead of the traditional horn shape. I think it looks really good and makes sense for the animal. So yeah, I really love how this looks. Let's see if we can find the base pattern for you guys, so we can have a look at that as well. There we go. I think that's the base pattern, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. And yeah, here you can see the diamond pattern a little bit more clearly. And the color overall is a bit more muted than the step one, which is, you can see that one just approaching there. But it's just so good. I love the skin textures. And I love it when you see them kind of up close where you can also see a guest, because it really brings into context the size of these animals. These are like pretty much elephant-sized animals, which is crazy. Like, look at the guest compared to these Torosaurus and the Edmontosaurus. Really beautiful. But I do love how this habitat panned out. I think it looks like something you'd see in a real zoo, which I'm super happy about. Like I said, again, I use mostly temperate trees, these redwoods, these sort of weird trees, I don't know what they're called. And I also use one of these big, really shady trees, because it looks so cool here on the side of the hill, because it just provides so much shade. And you can see more of our Torosaurs back here, all chilling. There's loads of food spaces, and like I said, this habitat is tremendously big. Let's look at it on the map view, and you can see it's really a quite large habitat. They can go all the way back here and kind of hide away from the people if they want to, because there's no viewing areas back here. And a lot of the fence is hidden by trees, so like I said, that's kind of the goal I'm going for, is kind of a fenceless environment where you don't kind of see the fences if you're a guest. So you can only see this one length of fence that goes around where the viewing area is. But if you look further, you can't really see any of the other fences in the habitat. Let's look at some of the other stuff I've done. So once again, I've redone the plaza because I didn't like how it looked. I'm still not sure if I like how it looks, but it definitely looks a bit better than the previous attempt, so I'm happy enough with that. Now it has these trio of redwood trees in the middle, and the buildings are a bit more uniformly spaced out, and we have some restrooms here as well, so I think overall the plaza is looking a lot better. But who knows, I might change it again. I can't make up my mind. Here we have the monorail, and I've added in our first monorail track. So I don't know if that's in the speed build, but you can see here it goes this is just the first part of what will eventually encircle the whole park. So it goes here, and from here you'll be able to see the operations center and also look into the habitat a little bit, and it will curl up here and you will be dropped off at the top of the hill. I'll add in some buildings here later on, I think, and of course here you can go straight into the aviary and also the viewing platform. This hill around the aviary is going to become a great vantage point for a lot of the future habitats that we build. So I'm aiming to put in one here, so more viewing platforms to look at all the habitats that will eventually be here. So let's talk about the future animals I'm planning to include. As you may have noticed, let's go into map view. On this left side of the park so far, we have animals kind of all from the same time period and the same region of the world. So we've got Pachycephalosaurs and Ankylosaurs here, and we got our Edmontosaurus and Torosaurus. So these are all animals from the Hell Creek Formation. So if you're not aware, the Hell Creek Formation is where a lot of the really big famous late Cretaceous dinosaurs were found. So Tyrannosaurus, Triceratops, all these guys here, stuff like that. So I'm thinking we're going to continue with that theme and have one more big Hell Creek habitat here for our T-Rex, maybe a couple other dinosaurs here from the Hell Creek Formation, and then we're going to have this area with the lake. This is going to be a huge Jurassic themed habitat, so it's going to be massive, and it will be like Jurassic North America, so we'll have Diplodocus, Camarasaurus, maybe Brachiosaurus, a lot of the smaller animals, like we might have a Stegosaurus. I don't really like how the Stegosaurus looks, so I'm not sure if we will. But yeah, it's going to be a big Jurassic themed habitat. And then once we're done with that, we will have a Cretaceous China section, because I have a lot of Cretaceous Chinese dinosaurs, which I think will look pretty cool. And we will also have a Cretaceous Africa section, which is where we're going to include some of those dinosaurs, namely things like, what do I have? Got the Tyrannosaurus, the Spinosaurus, the Carcharodontosaurus, stuff like that. So that'll be on this side, and like I said, Jurassic, Cretaceous China. So we'll actually have kind of sections. So far, the only dinosaur that doesn't really fit in those is the Metriacanthosaurus habitat, but I'm happy with that just being here. Let's actually have a look at them. What are they up to? There's one of them. Just chilling, just enjoying life, looking gorgeous as always. What a beautiful dinosaur. And we can have a look at our first habitat as well, actually, and see what the Ankylosaurus and Pachycephalosaurus are up to. Apologies for the game lag, by the way. My computer can't quite handle it sometimes. There we go, looking beautiful. Beautiful animals, and they're just enjoying life. So I'm super happy with how this park is coming along, and yeah, we'll get to work on the future habitats and we'll start to build things up. We're going to probably have a few more episodes coming up soon. I can't imagine this series will go on for more than 10 episodes, so that'll probably be the limit. But obviously, if I come up with new ideas, we'll do that. Like, there's still a lot of stuff we need to add. Like, we don't even have any hotels yet for people to stay in. So I might make another guest area here, like I mentioned before in another video. Okay, so that's it for this episode. We'll leave you guys with some cinematics. And back to this channel itself. Planet Zoo might be taking a small break just because we just learned there's an update coming. So I want to kind of wait a little bit longer for the update itself to arrive, because there's probably going to be a lot of stuff in there that I'm going to wish I waited for. So yeah, I'm going to wait for that a bit, but we'll fill up the time with Jurassic World Evolution, and I might do some one-off builds in Planet Zoo. But otherwise, that's it for today. I really do hope all of you are doing well and taking care and staying home as always. You know, this is going to go on for a bit longer, I think, and I do hope that all of you are doing your best to stay safe and stay happy. So I'll see you guys all in the next one. Subscribe if you want more of this content, comment if you have any suggestions or want to leave a message. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!